I'm here with Peter
Founder.
Jennings, the chairman of the board at Unabated Sports. We are going to talk to him all day long about what the products that they have over there are, how you can utilize them to be a better sports bettor on a day-to-day basis, especially if you're somebody like me who really likes all the things that they have over at Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code ALSMIZZLE, ALSMIZZLE, and you get a first-time deposit bonus of up to $100 on your first deposit to the site, which you can use for the things like their best ball tournaments or the thing that I like the most during the season. And I don't do this like I'm such a donkey, Pete. Like I just do this partially for the content part of it, but also because it's just a fun way to make a game a little bit more interesting, an island game more specifically. And I'm part of the overgang as much as I know it's stupid to be on overgang, the highers versus the lowers. There's more outs when you go with the lowers, clearly. But they have their all season long stuff there right now, and they have game by game stuff that you can correlate a quarterback with a wide receiver, maybe a player from the other side. And you have the insured picks, or you can go with 3, 6x, 10x, or 20x, however you want to do it. We have a promo for you that Peter has set up for us, for you guys who are watching this video at Unabated. Go to unabated.com, go sign up for the premium football, and at checkout, use promo code SMIZZ, all caps, SMIZZ, and you'll get a free 5-day trial to the site. So, Pete, why don't you talk to us about everything that Unabated does and how we can use it to be better at our pick'ems on Underdog, or to be a better sports bettor if you're in a state that has that.
Yeah, so on the Pick'em side, that's a new product that we have. Basically, you can upload your own projections, take projections that we have, use the unabated projections. There's a variety of things. You can also blend the projections, and it'll simply put out where there's value on the hires and lowers on Underdog or Prize Picks. So that's a really useful tool. It saves people a lot of time. And a lot of the unabated subscribers have been just absolutely doing incredibly well in WNBA and college football, which obviously are a little bit more inefficient markets. So
Yeah,
it's been
that's
fun
the
to
thing that we've
watch.
always said, right? So the less information that there is in a DFS sport, the greater your edge can increase in that sport. So WNBA, not a really high volume content game, right? If you said, okay, I'm going to play daily fantasy WNBA today, where are the best projections for it? Some people would know, but it's not like literally everywhere, like RotoWire, RotoWorld, ESPN, rotogrinders, fantasy labs, everywhere. It's not something that's proliferated all over the space. So you have to do a tougher job to find it, which creates better edges, especially on things like news.
Yeah, and fortunately, we have arguably the best WNBA DFS player powering our projections. Glenn, he also runs the Solver, just a superstar who's been making a living for the last 5, 6 years, grinding all the niche sports in DFS. So he's done really well with college football, probably his best sport, WNBA, soccer. I believe he's maxed out the it's not a live final, but the big championship for WNBA. And yeah, he's done extremely well and ported over a lot of that information to Unabated, which has been great. So we're super thankful for Glenn. He's a huge part of our Discord as well, and he's been doing this for a really long time, and I think has a really good beat on what's going on in the WNBA. So he's grinding all the news, and just like we see over at ETR with like Drew Dinkmeyer, he's doing the same stuff with the WNBA. And actually, shout out to Dink. I met Glenn, who now lives here in Colorado, through Drew. So it's always nice when you make good friends from your other friends. So super appreciative of Dink, and Glenn's been just a rock star for us.
Sounds good. I'm here at the Unabated app. So I've logged in, I've clicked on the app. I'm in here so where should I go? Game odds, player prop simulator, NFL season simulator.
Let's look at the college football stuff. So NCAAF.
Okay,
Let's
up
go to
on
the
top.
pick'em tool there. Yep, to
DFS
the left.
pick'em.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. So when I'm selecting a site, let's select Underdog Fantasy. We can use the unabated projections, or if you have
use the unabated
custom
one.
projections, you could upload your own projections. If you subscribe to a DFS site that does projections, you could upload your own, and then you can weight them 100%. If you add 1 or 2 or 3 sites, you could aggregate them across the board, possibly see where the value is. I don't have anything uploaded right now, so let's just lock in the unabated projections. It takes us to this tool. Okay, walk me through this.
So yeah, you can kill the baseball. You just kill all the sports up there on the left outside of NCAAF. Kill the NFL, MLB, and NBA.
Got it. All right. Dead.
Yep. So these would be really good. I mean, and these projections are really strong. So I think these actually be good picks. So you could plug in, so you can just click on the top 5 if you wanted to.
2,
And
3.
you can see
4.
a lot of lowers.
Yeah. Like
we could grab an
think
over.
every time I do a pick 'em on screen, it's like lowers are sharper. There's more outs to getting the outcome that you want, but I don't like rooting for punts and field goals. So I always pick overs because it's more fun to get there. But I understand the difference, and I'm just doing it for fun. But if you wanted to be smart, it shows
you can't see the
edge
edge
for
there
each
because
one.
of my thing, but the edge is probably pretty high on that overall. What's
So
it saying?
the first one was Keon Lassane, lower receiving yards, 42% edge, 42.3% edge. Porter Rooks from NC. There are a lot of NC States. Do we need more than one game?
You might need more than one. You definitely need more than one game.
Okay, so I need somebody from this Minnesota-Nebraska game. There we go. Sean Tyler, lower rushing yards.
Perfect.
Nope, he's Minnesota. Damn it. No, they're playing Nebraska. That works.
Okay.
Okay, that's 2 games. 3 NC States, 2 Minnesotas. And then this should give us a full edge, correct?
Yeah, that should be good. I'm not sure why it's not showing the whole. Normally it shows like an edge percentage there. I can pull up the screen. Should show like a full.
Yeah, like I've done this before, and it usually will show you a combined edge on all the selections that you make.
Yeah, let me just do the same thing here.
So chat says, so basically if you just bet all these you print, well, I mean, there is going to be variance involved and things are going to happen because sports betting and trying to predict the future is never going to be a thing that you can have with 100% accuracy. But everything that we do, whether it's daily fantasy or sports betting, is to try and move the needle 1 or 2 percentage points in our favor. Does stacking in daily fantasy immediately mean that you're going to print? No. But does it move the needle versus the field in your favor? Yes. What about double stacking? Does that move the needle in terms of finishing the top 5 or top 1%? Also, yes. Does bringing back with another player move it 1 or 2%? Yes. Does using a secondary or a second correlated stack that's not involved with your QB move it 1 or 2 more percent? Yes. So if you are able to beat Pick'em, or if you're not somebody who is able to beat Pick'em games, because those games and the odds that they pay out are not going to be swung in your favor. They're going to be massive house edge games. If you can reduce that edge or eliminate that edge, you're going to have a winning expectation over time.
Correct. And for whatever reason, I'm not seeing the, I'll mention this. Normally there shows a total percent edge that I will flag for our team.
I've seen it. I can attest that I have seen the total percent edge. So if we go over to Underdog Fantasy and let's see, college football.
You might not be able to play college. I think you can in California.
It's there.
Let's do it.
So who are
we could do an
plays? I need NC State, first of all. So I got to scroll down to NC State. UCF. Okay, NC State. Who are our guys, chat? You got to let me know because I don't know these dudes. Keon Lassane. All right. What were we betting on him? Lower receiving yards. Keon Lassane. It's not there. No, they took it off the board. Damn it, Jeremy. You saw us doing this.
Oh, no. Maybe that's why it's not. Maybe that's part of the issue.
So that's no longer offered. Keon Lassane, lower receptions. I will plug that in. Okay, lower receptions. Boom. Oh, receiving yards was there. I'm an idiot. Now we have Jordan Houston, lower rushing yards. Jordan Houston, lower rushing yards. It's currently at 60.5. Also at 60.5 there. We need the Minnesota game. Oh, I can't do this, Keon Lassane. You can't bet 2 for 1. So I'm going to do a 4-player. Corey Crooms, lower receiving yards from Minnesota. We got it back here. Got to find Corey Crooms. All right, we have the game. Corey Crooms, lower receiving yards. And then our last one is Sean Tyler. We need lower rushing yards on Sean Tyler. This is the least exciting thing I have ever bet because all 4 are lowers. All right. We're going to see if this goes. I'm going to bet it for $50. Boom. You can plug that in. As I said, if you use
let's do one more overs for fun.
Okay. We'll do an over one. There's my 4. That one's already bet. I have no idea who any of those 4 players are, Peter. I'm sure you know all about them. Okay. We need to find some edge overs.
I got some for you.
Trevor Etienne. Any relation? More than probably.
I believe so.
Higher passing yards for John Reese Plumley. Any relation? Is he part of the Plumley clan? I know there's a lot of them.
Not to the NBA Plumley clan, but
probably
really
a
player.
Distant cousin.
Really good player. I got a full over set here.
Oh yeah, I got 3. I have Trevor Etienne, higher rushing yards, higher passing yards on Jay Plumlee, and Kobe Hudson, higher receiving yards. Now I got to find these guys.
Yep.
All right.
Also,
Yeah.
I think the Devon Vele works with higher receptions too.
Vele, spell that.
Vele. Barely. Barely.
No, it says lower receiving yards. Oh, here we go. Higher receptions, though.
Yeah.
1.7% edge.
We're close by. And then we can, even with this, because the 5 legs are good, you could find something that's like pretty close. Chris Autumn Bell, higher receiving yards. It's a -2% edge, but collectively together it'll work well.
Bell?
Yep.
Chris Ottman Bell. Got it. All right. So let's go bet these now. Trevor Etienne. I got to find Trevor Etienne. If you see anybody that I talked about, chat, please let me know because we're going to be all over the place. I think, didn't we have somebody from NC State on this one? Florida, UCF? No, nobody.
The Utah, UCF ones are good.
Yeah. We got UCF, which is up here. So UCF was Plumlee, higher passing yards. Sure. 214. He's going to throw for 300 easy. We're going to get that 214 in the first half. I have no idea who Plumlee is. Trevor Etienne from Florida. We have Kobe Hudson. So that one correlates with Plumlee. Higher receiving yards for Kobe. Higher receiving yards. Every time John Reese Plumlee throws a pass, if I'm watching this game, which I probably will be now, I'm going to yell Kobe every time.
Let's go.
Going to throw it. Kobe. We need Etienne. We need Utah Vele, Ottman Bell, higher receiving yards. Ottman Bell, higher receiving yards from Minnesota. Ottman Bell, higher receiving yards, 23 yards. He could do that in one catch. And then we need Vele and Etienne.
Bingo.
And Etienne. Higher rush yards. Vele. Where the hell is this Vele dude? Where does he play?
Vele plays for Florida.
The Utes. The Utes.
Utah.
He's a Ute. I got to go through here and find a Utes. I don't see him.
Oh, no.
Devon Vele for Utah. That's Utah State.
Did you search Vele?
Yes.
You search in that top left corner. Does that work?
There it is. And we are over on him for higher receptions. Higher receptions. Boom. We're going to win 20-1 on this one. $50 to win 1,000 because why not? That's very simply done. I got 2 of them. Is there anything else on this tool that we should be looking at, Pete?
I mean, it's simple on Prize Picks. I just send our devs. Normally it shows the total edge, but this is something that I think there's a big advantage on. And you have to be thoughtful and you have to use good projections and you have to be thinking about when the right time to do this is. But like, for example, I'll load in ETR projections for the NFL
on Sunday morning.
They release and it'll be great. And you can also load them on Sunday mornings when projections change. And oftentimes you'll find some edges. So,
and are much more like from an R squared perspective, the closer you get to lock, the better the projections are. You don't want to do this right up against lock because things are going to change when it comes to the lines, obviously, and props. But like something like this on Saturday night or Sunday morning seems like a great idea for football. Or on a Monday or Thursday afternoon before the island game, you're going to have some pretty static lines where you can go and attack and go with higher and lowers and combinations to fill out a pick'em card.
Exactly. And I just think it's fun. I mean, it's a super simple way. I mean, our goal is to save time and like you can see some things and upload your own projections if you're doing that. And I do think there's quite a bit of opportunity. We've seen just the growth of Underdog and Prize Picks and Sleeper. And it's just a great format. It's simple and it's a fun way to risk a little bit of money to win a lot. And obviously, you know, the key to actually being profitable is having great projections and being disciplined in how you're doing it. So depends if you're looking for fun or to profit or both. And yeah, it's something that we're proud of at Unabated just because it's a really simple tool that can help save you time. If you're in a legal state, I mean, there's all these promotions still. And then the most basic thing that you can do that's one of our main tools and kind of the thing that everyone uses is our odds screen. And it's really critical if you do like a side, let's say, you know, for week 1, you want to bet the Lions versus the Chiefs.
So wait, show me this. So odds, NFL odds. Oh my God, this is overwhelming. Okay. So this is like, you were talking about shopping for odds. This shows you everything that's out. Oh, this just changed. This went green. Hold minus 40.
This is moving all the time. So like if you wanted to bet,
I should have shown it,
right?
Yeah.
The best line by far, which actually shows a value, is that 3 book at +6.5 +100. So that would be where if you had that option. So it's actually, you can see on the far left side of the screen, there's the best line.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can filter this to have only the books that you have access to. And yeah, it's a really, really important thing to kind of look at. But a lot of people are just blatantly just like saying, okay, I'm gonna have one sports book. I'm just gonna bet the sides I like. And that's where you get eaten alive by the hold or the juice.
Mhm.
And if you have multiple sports books, then you at least have the option to shop for the best price. So that to me is super important. And that's how professional bettors in general work, is they're making sure they have a lot of different outs and they're trying to get the best price whenever they bet. And some people that are professionals don't even have a model or anything. They're literally just top down bettors,
Mhm.
which basically means they're watching the markets. They don't have any opinion and they bet based on when other things move. So they'll see, you know, a line move on a sharp book like Bookmaker, Pinnacle, or Circa, and then they'll go bet it on DraftKings or FanDuel or MGM, which is a really, it used to be a really lucrative way to make money. It's still a pretty good way to make money. The books
That's
are
more of
getting
an arbitrage betting standpoint, though, right? Trying to find
exactly,
those efficiencies where you can middle something. Like if a team is -5 somewhere, but -4 or -3 somewhere else, or -3.5. If you can catch that middle, you're risking very little to win double.
exactly. So yeah, if you go to college football, I mean, we have a lot of games today. Is that where you are now?
Yeah, I'm just while you talk, I'm giving people stuff to look at. Yes,
Yeah. So I'm not sure why some of the games aren't full there, but
just
yeah, you
off the
can kind of
board,
see.
or
Yeah, maybe they're off the board.
there's a
Let's
lot more. Like I'm only showing you like what's on the left. There's all these other books, Parks. I don't know all the sports books, but like I see Intertops, I see Matchbook, Barstool, Sugar House.
oh yeah, and
That's
you
a
can
name.
sort that by
WinBet,
just the books that you want,
by
which
turning
is
them on and
usually
off. Like if you toggle them or something.
yeah. So if you go back to the on the right hand side, there's like a settings symbol
Yeah,
in the right, and it'll give you an option of which books that you want to have.
you can
There's
display
like
certain ones. You can display best line.
yeah,
Same thing for futures. Same thing for props. Depending on where you play, you can save that so that it's unique to your uh, what's available to you in your state.
yeah, what's available to you, and then I do think it's really important. And one of the things that I would make sure to have on the screen, the unabated line,
Mhm.
is basically taking out the juice, so you can see every single line has, you know, it's either, you know, like for example, Kent State, Florida, it's plus 36 minus, or I'm sorry, it's plus 36 plus 100 and minus 36 plus 100.
Uh
Or
huh.
NC State, Connecticut's minus 14 minus 101, Connecticut's plus 14 plus 101. So there's no juice in the unabated line. And what the unabated line basically is a combination of the sharp sports books.
Hmm.
And for each sport, and for different bet types, we actually have a different algorithm to basically make the unabated line. And the way we've done that is basically figuring out which books are sharper on which sports. And there's a lot of data science and work that's gone into figuring out which books are the sharpest based on sport, a little bit of our secret sauce. And we combine that all into the unabated line, basically saying, okay, you know, if there's no juice, that's what the market should be. Um, so that's a really good baseline just to kind of see where the market should be. And then you can compare the unabated line to other books. And when there's a delta between the unabated line and other books, those are deemed plus EV bets.
For some of the
So you can
viewers, can you define the delta between the bets, please? I need a glossary of terms for sports betting on top of everything. We've done this for
yeah,
daily fantasy. So when you say a delta between the lines, explain it to me like I'm five.
sure. So we're at TCU versus Colorado right now.
ECU
There's
versus Colorado. Where
yeah,
is this?
so I'm actually looking at, we have another product, and I'll get you set up with this, called Edge Rusher, which is in our concierge tier, which will basically sort all the different plus
Concierge.
EV bets. Yeah, it's a high end, it's expensive, but it's for
That's for
professional
like
bettors.
super professional sportsmen. Colorado TCU. I got you right here.
Yeah, so I'm actually looking at an alternate line. Let me find one that's not an alternate line. A lot of these are alternate lines
So
right
the
now.
score has this game at -24, TCU -24, but everywhere else has it at -20.5.
Yeah, so the score,
-24 plus 135.
right?
It's like
So
a
that's
teased line.
actually, yeah. So they've put in the juice to kind of, they put up a different line than everyone else, but have different juice. So those are actually not great bets. You can see there's a huge delta between the juice. They have minus 175 and plus 135.
Mhm.
But there are alternate spreads. So like the one bet that I'm seeing right now on that game, basically is TCU minus 30 plus 250.
So
And
that's a
that's a one.
teased line that somebody has offered.
Correct. And normally it'd be easier if we're closer to game time when things are actually moving a lot.
I was going to say,
There'd
I
be
can imagine on a Saturday morning how much the college football lines are bouncing. This whole page is filled up. Baseball odds don't move as much, correct?
We could look at baseball. Let's take a look at baseball.
And there's not that many that are posted. I don't know why, but maybe it's just
There's
not a
four
lot of games
games.
today. Yeah, it's 4 game slate. These are tomorrow. Uh, so here's
So,
all the
like, for
lines for
example,
baseball.
actually there is an edge available right now, and it's a small one. And it's something that to be clear on. I try to have a threshold of at least like 1.5%. This is only a 0.8% edge, but basically -1.5 plus 160 at Barstool
For who?
is better than the unabated line of -1.5 plus 158 on the Yankees.
Yankees. Okay,
Yep.
so up
I think
here.
that game just started too.
Okay. So the
But that was
Barstool line is
that
way
wasn't it.
over here. And then here's the best line, which was said as Barstool. If you
Yep.
hover over these. Chad had a good question. A, can we see player props for DraftKings? But B, can this correlate to DFS or is this just for sports books? And if so, how could I utilize this for daily fantasy sports?
Yeah, for DFS, I mean, it definitely can be helpful.
I'm
And
going
we'll
to
go
NFL props, by the way, on screen.
Yeah, let's look at some info props. This is fun.
Just while you're
Uh,
talking about this, I don't see many props up.
yeah,
I'll put it.
try passing yards. I just a lot of these books I haven't put up. If you go to NFL on the left there, just below.
Yeah.
Oh, somehow I just got
Or futures.
futures are fun too.
There we go. We'll put the futures just for a backstop for you to talk about.
Yeah, so
entering those.
so I do think that you can use the betting markets, and I've been using them since 2010 or 2011 even, just to kind of get a sense of where the markets are going. Obviously, totals are really important. A lot of people have now baked those into their projections overall. But something that I'll look for is, if I start to see a total in an NFL game creep up right before the game starts, a lot of times that means sharp money is coming in on the over and vice versa on the under. So I'll pay close attention to kind of games that maybe influential bettors and kind of how markets are moving to say, okay, this game might actually be a little bit, higher scoring than what the market originally projected and what DFS projections had set, and vice versa on when totals start to go down. So that's something that I'm really trying to leverage, as well as when there's a strong amount of movement onto one side of the team. Like you probably want to take if a team goes from like -10 to -14. Probably want to take players from that team that went to -14, assuming it's a good game environment. So there's just hints in the market. The betting market is really efficient at close. So basically, as a DFS player, you don't need to make your decisions until the games start. So you can kind of watch, or right before game starts, you can kind of watch to see how the market's moving near close, and you can adjust things based on kind of how things have moved. So that's something that I try to do a lot of. It's not as prominent as it used to be. I mean, now when we were playing baseball back in the day, it was as simple as, okay, what are the highest team totals? Let's stack those teams. And that basically was a printing press. People have figured that out now, unfortunately, but there's still some subtle things that you can kind of lean into that I think are really valuable with betting markets.
And the last thing that I wanted to touch on, the simulations. I went over to NFL Season Simulator.
Yep.
Okay, let's design one.
Yep. I'm on an ad for the Twitch.
Basic mode, quick and easy. Advanced mode, more control, but more to input. And unabated mode, of course, hashtag branding. Ultimate control, but the most involved. So, like, I have to provide an overall rating for each team.
Yeah, that's for you're on the futures right now.
No, I'm doing the simulating a season. Can I just use like ESPN? These are up. Massey Peabody Analytics. Load this one.
That's with Rufus.
Yeah.
Trying to see if there's any. It's surprising that there's so few.
What do I want to call this? I want to call it the Smiz Gang Sim and simulate it. Let's just run it through. We're preparing your simulation. This is very fun for me. Does this take a long time? No.
It shouldn't take a crazy amount of time.
Oh, it's running our design now. Look how many seasons it's simulating. We're gonna get answers. And you can do these simulators for player props as well, correct?
Yeah, so that'll be the fun part. Once the player prop page is super valuable, and we're gonna have a lot of cool tools around that. Unfortunately, right now, sportsbooks have not put up many player props. There's a couple for the Lions Chiefs game, but outside of that, there's really nothing. But you can plug in projections in the same way we use it in the Pick'em tool. You can run simulations based on those projections, and it'll spit out edges based on your projections and what's available in the prop market. And one thing that's really important in kind of why in general there's more value on the lowers, and there used to be a lot more value on the lowers, is that the median is generally lower than the mean. So in DFS, we really care about the mean, because when Tyreek Hill goes for 200 receiving yards, that really, really helps us in DFS. And we want to bake in like these really high upside games. With Pick'em, you just care if they go higher or lower than the number.
Yeah.
So
And you don't care by
really,
how much. Yeah. Like it's not like it's not a lightning bet where like if they go over by 50 over the edge, then you make more money. The simulation's
right.
done.
Ooh, I'm excited for this.
Okay.
So basically the median is, how often they're going over or under that projection. So the medians in general are lower, and that's why there's normally value on the lowers, although the markets have gotten a bit more efficient with this. So one thing that I'm really proud of at Unabated is we've basically built, and it's pretty sophisticated. There's all sorts of data science that went into this, ways to convert mean projections into median projections. And it's different per sport, different per stat. And that's something that we've done a really good job with. So on the prop side, on the pick'em side, when you're plugging in projections, we automatically convert those means to median. And I think one mistake that a lot of people make that I've seen early on when they're betting props or playing pick'em is they just take the mean projections and compare those to the lines. The medians are going to be lower than the means.
So it finished the sim. It thinks the Chiefs are really good. It thinks the Bengals are really good. It thinks the Bills are really good. It thinks the Saints are going to win over 10 games.
Wow. I guess the reasoning for that would be the division. But
I'm not worried about the reasoning for that, but now I can view this in futures because this is the actionable thing of how to get. Okay, so now we can view this in futures based on my sim. So I've done the sim. There's a bunch of stuff in green now.
Yeah.
Is the stuff in green? Green is good, right?
Green is good.
Okay, so we want to do the green stuff.
Let's find a team that we both agree on. Let's talk through some stuff that makes sense.
All right. Well, I'm going to do this because I always cater to the guests that I have on the screen. This simulator, shockingly, has the Denver Broncos green across the board.
Yeah, so they have a 40 to 1. Seems aggressive, but that's all right. We'll take it. So the best line would be, and this is a perfect example, like there's a lot of 40 to 1s, 45 to 1s, but then there's a 55 to 1 at
Unibet and Sugar House.
So that's where you'd want to bet that if you were betting it. And that's just the power of line shopping. So that's something that I think is really, really important. And yeah, maybe Sean Payton's a genius and Russell Wilson is more athletic than he was last year. He figured something out, and the Broncos take a huge leap and win the Super Bowl this year.
So I think that that's really the key. Like you said, with line shopping, it just makes it a little bit more efficient and easier for you to be a better, which is something that everybody's looking to do. Profit is fun. So be sure that you go over to unabated.com/pricing. Takes you exactly to this screen. Get the early bird for the premium fantasy football or football early bird premium package. Use promo code SMIZ and you get 5 days for free that you can use. If you wanted to wait until early next week so you can catch the Thursday slate and the Sunday slate and a college football slate and get all of them and really get after it, that might be the best way to go. So thank you all for being here. Peter, I appreciate you being here as well. Go follow him on the Twitter machine and go check out all the great tools they have at Unabated, and look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.